I'd like to thank our reader, Bob Wirtz, and our music team, as well as Gary Lynn Floyd, for providing a special closing song for us today. We're beginning the new month of August with our theme this month being Summer Delights. And our topic for today is Savoring Summer Delights. And the message is about embracing those special moments and finding that spirit within you that allows you to truly live and love your life. And of course, I have a question for you. What is the one choice that you can make today to savor those special moments in life? To truly accept all the love and beauty that surrounds you each and every day, and to deeply embrace that God creates everything for pure delight. One more time. What is the one choice that you can make today to savor those special moments in life, to truly accept all the love and beauty that surrounds you each and every day, and to deeply embrace that God creates everything for pure delight? With our topic of Savoring Summer Delights, I want to talk about savoring life and about each one's capacity to fully embrace the joys, pleasures, and other positive feelings that we experience in our lives. You might have noticed for the last 3 weeks that I was not the speaker for the talk, and many of you know that I was traveling and creating an opportunity to savor some moments with my children and grandchildren. Later in the service, I plan to share some of those moments with you. And meanwhile, let's talk about what do we mean by the word savoring. We often talk about savoring certain foods, delighting in their taste. Today I want to talk about savoring special life moments and delighting in the experience of joy that they bring. Each one of us has the ability to choose to savor special moments. Yet, how often do we allow those moments to be fleeting? Sure, we enjoy them at the time, and then we forget the connection that we had that brought us that moment of love or joy or peace. Think about how often you have a fabulous experience and let it fleet by without recognizing all the joy and the magnificence of it. Michael Delaware wrote this: savor the moments in life that make your heart glow. Chase after and find the moments that will take your breath away. In the end, it is only those milestones on life's journey that matter. So what milestones have you noticed truly matter in your life, in your life's journey? I know for me, one of them will always be the time I spend with family, laughing, and yes, even at times disagreeing. So how do we learn to savor those moments? You know, there's a lot of different types of savoring. There's basking, when somebody praises you or congratulates you and you can just bask in that moment. There's thanksgiving, which is expressing gratitude for blessings that we receive. There's marveling, which is losing oneself in the wonder of the moment. And there's luxuriating, which is indulging the senses. I was actually privileged to do a lot of luxuriating in my time away. And again, I promise to share some of that later. There's also a number of ways that we can learn to savor life. One of them is sharing with others, seeking out other people and sharing the experience, talking about the value of that special moment. There's memory building, such as taking mental photographs, or maybe perhaps even a real photograph, or getting a souvenir that you can use so that later when you look at that picture or that souvenir, it brings back the memory. Did you know that this is one of the reasons that a lot of the times there's prayer cards at funerals? Because when we see that card, we have an opportunity to remember that person and the special place that they held in our hearts. Another way to savor and to learn to savor is self-congratulations. Taking pride in your participation in some activity and reminding yourself of the part you played. Sometimes the event can even be reflecting on how long you waited for it to happen and the pleasure you had in the anticipation of it. I know that I had a lot of pleasure in anticipating being with my grandkids in Hawaii and Alaska. We have other ways of savoring, learning to savor, sharpening perceptions, focusing on specific elements and blocking out other extraneous elements. Sometimes you even need to block out someone else's distrust or disagreement or disgruntledness with what was going on because you were enjoying it so much. And that can dampen the view a bit. So we just release that and savor the specific elements of that event that meant a lot to us. And there's also absorption, allowing yourself to get totally immersed, trying not to think about the outside world and just sensing the feelings that you experience. Maybe feelings of love or joy or peace or ease or calm or magnificence. One thing about savoring a particular moment is that it allows us to let go of our thoughts and not think about how things should be or what we should be doing. It invites us to be in the moment and not how something could be better, just enjoying the great experience that it was or it currently is. Ernest Holmes in his Beverly Hills lectures once said, "The ancients said, God creates everything in pure delight." If everything is indeed created for pure delight, I wonder why it is that we often infrequently pause to be delighted by the wonderful beauty of this universe that surrounds us. When was the last time you actually strolled through a garden and truly basked in the beauty of the flowers? Or walked along a street and saw the face of God in everyone that you passed, rather than holding them in some type of judgment? Albert Einstein once said, "My sense of God is my sense of wonder about the universe." Think about that for a moment. In my travels in Hawaii and Alaska, I saw so much beauty in the universe. From the amazing volcano on the Big Island and the beautiful fish in the ocean, including the magnificent manta ray who came right up to our boat and performed right in front of me, to the majesty of ice glaciers and whales and the beautiful animals in Alaska. There's no doubting a higher power and a sense of order in the world when we spend time watching life and delighting in the views of the world. I had an opportunity to walk along the sacred Hawaiian spiritual paths to a place which is something of the Hawaiian people's Mecca. It's a walk over volcanic rock. There's no real path, and it's about a mile off the actual road. And you end up in a place where the Hawaiians still go to give homage. When they have a newborn, what I find fascinating is that they take the umbilical cord and carve into the rock and place it inside that carved area and then cap it off. So you see all these circular areas around and drawings on the bigger part of the lava that are clearly family. So as I sat to offer a prayer, I felt the connection with life, that one life that we so frequently forget we're part of. And then in Alaska, I experienced the majesty of the glaciers, the beauty of those ice farms which have taken thousands of years to create. The sight was incredibly beautiful. And again, the magnificence of nature filled my heart. And how blessed was I to be able to share these moments with people in my life whom I love dearly, my children and my grandchildren. I have to say that I was running low on spiritual food when I took off for my Hawaii and Alaska adventures. My bout with bacterial pneumonia had me wondering about my depth of faith and about my ability to stay connected with that one life that I know is my life. And my energy had been a bit drained. My sister calls me the Energizer Bunny often, and I have to say that my batteries in my Energizer were running a bit low. I'm not accustomed to not being able to do the things that I want to do and to move on to the next thing and just to keep moving. And yet I found myself needing an extraordinary amount of sleep. I kept hearing the doctor tell me that it would take up to 6 months to get back to normal. And I kept wondering if he understood what my normal really was. And then along came my time in Alaska and Hawaii, and a chance to rejuvenate and to rejoice, and yes, to savor special moments. Steve Marabou writes, "Sometimes it's the same moments that take your breath away that breathe purpose and love back into your life." I know in those moments on the Big Island and on the Alaska Inland Passage that I felt renewal and a new sense of life flowing through me. It was as John O'Donohue wrote in the poem that was part of our reading today. "I awakened my spirit to this adventure, and my soul sensed the world that awaited me, and I was at home in a new rhythm." I began thinking about lesson 49 in the Course in Miracles, and it states this: God's voice speaks to me all through the day. It goes on to say, the part of your mind in which truth abides is in constant communication with God, whether you are aware of it or not. I think all too often I fail to listen to that voice, or I get so caught up in the doingness of my life that I can't hear the voice, and I become unaware of it. For me, one of the things about Savoring Delights I just experienced will be about remembering to hear God's voice. Ernest Holmes in Creative Living wrote, "If we can get it firmly in our minds that there is nothing in the universe that wishes us evil, there is nothing in the universe that desires to limit us, then everything will conspire to bring to us that which we desire, because we are the delight of the living God right now." I want to live in that thought that everything conspires to bring me what I desire. How about you? Kristin Meyer reminds us, in the end, it is not going to matter how many breaths you take, but how many moments take your breath away. I hope you enjoy some of these photos that I'm going to share that were some of my savored summer delights and some of the things that took my breath away. So in summary, what might you savor about your summers, past or present? To do that, remember, savoring is delighting in an experience. And there are many types and ways to savor. Practice them. God creates everything for pure delight. Embrace the beauty of the universe. See God in everything and everyone. And God's voice speaks to us throughout the day. Allow moments that take your breath away to renew you. The universe conspires to bring us what we desire. So here's your affirmation for the week. How is it I so easily and willingly make the choice today to savor those special moments in life, to truly accept all the love and beauty that surrounds me each and every day, and to deeply embrace that God creates everything for pure delight. So I challenge you to make a conscious choice this week to savor those moments in life where love and beauty abounds. And notice the first step you might take towards learning to listen to God's voice as it speaks to you each day. I also invite you to check in at least once or twice a day to see if there are ways that you might savor life more and have more memories that take your breath away. Let's pray. Just taking a deep, nourishing breath, moving into our hearts, settling in that place where we can hear God's voice clearly, and just allowing ourselves to move through our days that are today and the next day and the one thereafter, remembering to notice all the beauty, to notice all the love, to notice all the ease and the grace that is God showing up right here on our planet for us. What I know is that each of us is absolutely capable of creating a life in which we so savor those moments in which we feel love and joy, that becomes the essence of who we are. And that uplifts the planet into a new realm of connection. I am so grateful. I'm so grateful for this community. I'm grateful for all the support. I'm grateful that I know that the God without is the God within each of us. And it's from that gratitude that I release these words into the law of mind, spirit, and action, into that heart of the divine that always says yes. So knowing it's already done, I say amen, and we can affirm it together. And so it is. I want to thank everyone who continues to participate and to donate to our community. It's truly a blessing to receive your gifts. Enjoy our offertory song.